Hello there, and of course, welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you are here, please punch the subscribe button. That is the only way you're going to get a notification each time we upload new videos. And the rationale is for you to help us by sharing the videos that come your way, because that is the only way our sensitization messages can cut across the national triangle. That said, I believe that the entire nation has come to terms with the fact that Professor Maurice Kamto shall not be running for the 2025 presidential election that is billed for October the 12th. But let me make it categorically clear. Professor Maurice Kamto is a sine qua non as far as change in October is concerned. Kicking out, flushing out, or ousting the regime of Ngongo, the government of Ngongo, Atanganji, Famandongo, Chantalbia, and you name the rest, the cabal that has taken Cameroon hostage, kicking them out of power will require Professor Maurice Kamto. And I'm going to explain why. If today Elecam is telling us that we have between 7.5 million and 8.5 million registered voters, it is because of the tremendous work and strategy of Professor Maurice Kamto, his collaborators, and the Cameroon Renaissance movement as a general. The Cameroon Renaissance movement in general. This is a fact. Verified. Now, I also want to tell you that behind the scene, as it stands, there is serious work going on. In my last video, I told you that some political parties that are opposing Mr. Biya in disguise, Ferdinand Gongo's plan to take over in a very quiet manner from Paul Biya, those who are in the presidential race have started contacting people who are in the inner circle of Professor Maurice Kamto to see how they can get him to give them his much needed support if they have any chance of standing Mr. Biya. And as you watch this video, forget about leaving the comment that nobody can take out the government through the ballot box. You need to have listened to what Issa Tchiroma said. The strategy is very simple. When you vote, you protect the vote with your life. You protect the vote. And when you protect the vote, make sure that you are ready in case they do what they have done in previous years, which is trying to rig the elections at the level of the proclamation of the result by the same evil constitutional council. Then what is there is that the people of Cameroon will then show the government that there is a limit that thieves cannot go beyond. Because, like I said, there is no honor amongst thieves. I despise that particular saying, because I know that there is a threshold that thieves must not cross. Now, we are going to start doing some groupings that we are anticipating to see come up in the days ahead. We have Professor Maurice Kamto, Issa Tchiroma, Bello Bouba. We have Professor Maurice Kamto, Issa Tchiroma, Bello Bouba, Cabral Libi, O.C. Joshua Nambangi. 5. But put a question mark on O.C. Joshua Nambangi and put a question mark on Cabral Libi, because these are two opposition leaders that, or candidates that, their dealings with the government in place is a call for concern. Now, but let me take the first three. The first three are capable of ousting the CPDM government like A, B, C. I'm talking about Issa Tchiroma Bakari, Bello Bouba Maigari, and Maurice Kamto putting their resources together. And when I say putting their resources together, permit me expatiate. If you take the Grand North, the three northern regions, there was a time I did a write-up in Eden newspaper, and I titled it The Grand North Heartbeat of the Candidates. Why is the Grand North the heartbeat of candidates running for any election in Cameroon? It's because every election in Cameroon, the Grand North, that is the far north region, the Adamawa, and of course, these regions put forward nothing less than 2.5 million registered voters. Yeah, they put together nothing less than 2.5 million to 3 million registered voters every time there is an election in Cameroon. So, if you can get the majority of the Grand North, the three northern regions, the north, the far north, and Adamawa, and then you take now the other pockets of the other regions, the southwest, the northwest, littoral, east, south, center. If you can pick some pockets there, you add it to the Grand North, you win the election in Cameroon. We're talking about where the elections are free, fair, and transparent. We're talking about where if they are not free, fair, and transparent, the people must stand up, vote, protect their votes, and follow up until proclamation of results. Sagat. Now, you realize that if Bello Bouba Maigari, the UNDP party, doing very well in the Grand North, should combine forces with Issa Tchiroma doing very well in the Grand North, and the Cameroon Renaissance movement of Professor Maurice Kamto that we've seen recently, militants of the CPDM and the SDF decamping and joining the Cameroon Renaissance movement. If these three candidates, these three political party leaders can combine their forces, they are going to oust Mr. Bia Ongongo come October the 12th. Why? Because Professor Maurice Kamto, as it stands, has the majority amongst opposition leaders and even the CPDM inclusive. And that is why you see we have the number of registered voters we have today in Cameroon. And so, we saw exactly what happened to show you that Issa Tchiroma is still trusted by his people. We saw that his personal assistant decamped, left him and joined the CPDM and went to campaign. We saw the reaction of the people of the Grand North. The people of the Grand North, the three northern regions, are tired of the CPDM party. They are tired of Mr. Bia's government and presently Ngongo's government. They are tired of it. And so they cannot even take it. That is why each time a member of government visits the Grand North, it is always catastrophic. We saw Ngongo when things didn't go down well with him. because the people didn't give him a good reception. Atanganji went there, he was stopped by the people and they told him, we don't want to see you guys. We are tired of your promises and lies. So you begin to realize that as it stands, Professor Maurice Kamto, Bello Bouba, and of course, Issa Tchiroma Bakari can put their forces together to form a formidable force. And when they go to campaign, because he will have to join them to campaign, they will come together, rub minds, put a well-carved out strategy, and trust me, the trio will form a formidable force. The three will form a formidable force. And they will decide who is going to go as president and whatever positions that they think will be at the top, managing the country when the victory comes. But the first thing, the first task is to get together and oust Ngongo's government. So you realize that these three people, Bello Bouba, Issa Tchiroma Bakari, and of course Professor Maurice Kamto, should unite, do a 10-region campaign tour, talking to the people. And I tell you, don't forget UPC. UPC is not going in. UPC is not partaking in the upcoming presidential election. But UPC members sympathize with the Cameroon Renaissance movement of Professor Maurice Kamto. Because people like Bahebek, Professor Bahebek, they will all join the trail. And when they do this, they will see what is going to happen. At the moment, it is all about the people. It's all about Cameroon. It is all about the nation. It is general interest over personal interest. And that will only come to prove to you that Professor Maurice Kamto remains a statesman, one who thinks about the next generation and not the next election. But we know that through the next election, we are able to kick out the dictatorship we have in Cameroon. And so, what is going to happen is that if these three can get together, put their forces together, do a 10-region campaign tour, the CPDM is as good as flushed out of the system. That is a fact. In my next video, we will look at O.C. Joshua Nambangi, Cabral Libi, Maurice Kamto, Bello Bouba, and Issa Tchiroma Bakari. These 5 persons. But I'm going to tell you why I put a question mark on O.C. Joshua and Cabral Libi. Watch out for the next video.